We want to specify each scraper cost, we want to integrate MongoDB to our system, and we want to check plan expiry before starting scraping. Hey, my name is Amir and I create content about web scraping and automation, and it's gonna be my third episode of building our own API-based scraping service from scratch. So let's get started. Alright, first of all, let's clone the repo that we have. You can find a link in description below. And yeah, I already have terminal. Okay. Git clone repo. Great. And I'm gonna move to scraping service directory and let me open it. So far, we have pricing, okay, to show the prices, register, dashboard, like logging. We have a buy endpoint for buying credits, okay, without any real payments, but I'm gonna add it in the next episodes. We had a scraper. First we scraped Wikipedia, then I added Google search scraper, which was crazy, from scrape ASAP. Also, you can find the link of that website in the description below. I'm gonna use their API for this project because that's really cheap. And also I told you can do whatever you want here, okay? You can scrape data yourself, and I told you that I've shared a lot of crazy thing in my YouTube, and you can do something crazy here. And then we used async programming because we are in async environment, we are on FastAPI, and we scrape data, we send post requests, we charge the user, and just we return the data, return the scrape data to the user. So let me just run the server that we have, and let me create a Python file for our database. Okay, I'm gonna put the queries there. Okay, exactly what we did using in-memory things and syntax. Okay, for example, for scrapers, we had something to find the user based on API key. We're exactly going to implement a function for this to find user by email, or maybe API key. We need a function, and we need a function to charge user, okay, after their scraping purposes, and also for registration and dashboard. Okay, it's gonna be something like 1 2 3 4 5 functions in this Python file that are able to query to database, and they retrieve data from our collections and database that we have. And now what we need to, you need to go to MongoDB Atlas. It's gonna be free, okay? I've already used that free cluster, but I just wanted to show you how it works and how you can initialize your cluster. There is a free cluster here once you register, and then when you select it, you just need to specify a name and selecting a region close to your host or server, no matter that much, a provider, and that's it. Create deployment. Then you need to come to the overview, okay, and there is a connect. Okay, you can see this button a lot. You need to hit the connect, and we don't need PyMongo, as I said before. I'm gonna use Motor, but we need this URI, which is like credentials, okay? And I'm going to show you how we can grab the password. And let me initialize the code. Initialization, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, we need to say that from motor dot motor async IO motor client, and we need to specify our client. What is gonna be our client? Async IO motor client. It's not gonna be the URL. It is exactly that we want it here. Okay, you need to put this here, and yeah, DB password. For grabbing DB password, once you create your free cluster, it gives you, okay, for one time, okay, but I can't remember that, so that's why I need to go to database access, I think, and here you can find edit and edit password, auto generate secure password, hit the copy, and update user. Okay, crazy. And then let's just edit this. Cool. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I mean, we have connected to the database, okay? And to the server, maybe, not database. Now we need to create a database that we want. And our DB gonna be DB is equal to db.get database. I mean, client dot get database scraping service, maybe, but I'm gonna name it as yeah, why not? Scraping service. I'm gonna use my YouTube channel name in a way that okay. Anyway, DB it's gonna be our DB, and I mean it's NoSQL. Okay, it's not SQL. We don't have table. We have collection here, and we can say that it's gonna be I mean user collection. Yeah, we need user collection. User collection gonna be db.get collection exactly, and users. Okay, we need a table for our users, and I think that's enough. That's enough. Yeah, perfect. I mean that's perfect. Okay, let's see what we need. Okay, from our main.py, we need something for registration here. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna create all of them, then I will just modify the code. We need something for registration, and we need an insert one, maybe async function such as register to db. I'm gonna make it right now. Async def register maybe to db. Why not? It takes user data exactly in JSON format, and let me see the copilot. I'm not gonna return something, but it is okay. Okay, let me just write it. You should await it, okay, because it is in our, I mean, we are in async environment, fully async environment. We should say that, okay, user collection that we created dot insert one dot user data. If you want, you can return something here, but I don't need that. Okay, and it's for registration. And now we need a async function to find user based on their email. Okay, we then use it for many parts such as dashboard. Also for buying a plan, we need to check user email here. That's why I'm gonna make it async now. Oh, ouch. Async def I'm gonna name it as find user by email. Crazy. It takes the email and says that user is equal to await user collection that find one, and the email should be equal to email. Crazy. And what's next? The next thing that I'm gonna create is finding these users by their API key in scraping part. Okay, because we don't have anything about users. Okay, when they want to scrape data, as you can see, we only take their own unique API key in the header. Okay, that's why I need something like async find user by API key. Async def find user by API. Yeah, crazy. And it takes API key. Look for that API key. API key is equal to API key. Return the user. Crazy, but not fine like that. And what's next? We need something for our user when they wanna purchase a plan. Okay, here, exactly here. And it takes 1, 2, 3 things. We should take the plan name, we should take the plan credits, we should take the expiry. Also, we should take the user email, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because we take the email. As you have watched my previous videos, we made this by taking email and plan name. Okay, we then improve it. Okay, it's not a big deal. And it's gonna be a little bit maybe challenging because these functions and helpers were really easy. Async def update user by plan. No, I'm gonna say that yeah, why not? We can use that update user plan. Yeah, crazy. It takes email update data, not email. I mean, not update data. It takes email, it takes the plan name also. And yeah, crazy. And wow, it exactly reads data from my main.py. Maybe I don't know how it can say that. It takes plan name, credits, and expiry. And await user collection update one, we need to update that based on email, and we want to change. I mean, that's why it has use. Okay, I've not coded this right now, but I'm gonna to. I mean, I'm gonna to. Wow, such a word I use. I wanted to do the same. Okay, and when we use set, it exactly set the values like the way that we specify. Okay, but when you want to increase and decrease something, you can use inc for increment. And yeah, we set the plan based on plan name, credit, expiry. Everything sounds great, and we don't need to return anything. Await user collection, which is reasonable. What's next? The next thing is, I mean, when user try to scrape and everything is okay, we should charge him by the scraper cost. Okay, so we need a API for that, and I'm gonna say charge user maybe, and maybe decrease balance. Okay, I'm gonna use decrease decrease credits or decrease balance. It takes, I think, only API key because we are going to use it exactly here. Exactly credits, and we only have API key from the header. And header, oh, such a British accent I got. Decrease balance based on API key and the cost of that scraper, which is really great and handy. Okay, cost, or maybe costs, it should be cost. Okay, and yeah, let me first of all read await user collection update one, API key incremental. Wow, crazy, thanks to Copilot, because it's, I mean, we save a lot of time here. And it should be minus cost. Yeah, you see the inc incremental because it increase and decrease something from the database. And perfect. And let me just save this code. And when you go to your, I mean, it was for database access, there is something in the cluster that you can review the data. Okay, it try to visualize the data that you have, which is really crazy. And currently we just connected, okay, but we didn't insert or query to our database. That's why it's empty. Okay, and let's see how we can connect and use the thing that we just implemented here. Okay, first of all, let's import those function really quick from database. Import register to DB, thanks to Copilot, smart, fast. Okay, crazy. Let's first get rid of oh no, wait, I don't want to encounter a syntax error. The first thing that we have is for, I mean, API for, I mean, query from database for our registration. Okay, email and user DB. I'm gonna check this later, but first of all, let's insert the data. Okay, I'm gonna say user data is equal to this one, and now we just need to say await register to DB and user data. Crazy stuff here. We don't need this anymore. And I'm not gonna show anything here because MongoDB has a object ID, which is I mean, you need to serialize that, and that's why I'm gonna don't print the user data. I'm gonna show you how we can do that later. You just need to remove the ID. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that later. So keep put that in a black box. Okay, maybe. So register a DB, that's fine. Let me just try endpoints from Postman that we had. Dashboard, buy, and register. Yeah, register. Mr. CodeMadeTV, CodeMadeTV@gmail.com, and 1234. Let's give it a try. We just connected to database. Okay, we didn't made it. Okay, and once you register, I mean, insert something to database, it creates your database and insert data. User registered successfully. Perfect. Let's give it a try by refreshing. See what happens. Now we need to have something like scraping service or Yeah, scraping service, database, user collection, MongoDB, 100 credits, API key, and expiry. Perfect. And now it's time for checking if user already exists or not. I'm gonna say that existing user, maybe existing user. Yeah, user. I don't need user.get email. We should use find user by email. Okay, perfect. And now I'm gonna say that if existing user is there, user can't register anymore. I mean, if it's not none. Okay, if we find it, it means that it's if we find a user, it means that we have such a user with that email in our database, and then we just return the data. And I'm gonna cover HTTP status code later in the next episode because that's more. I mean, that's better. Okay, for real world project, then we can handle errors way more better than this. I mean, because now we are taking everything in 200. Okay, and perfect. So we are done with the credits, I mean with the register, and the next thing is the dashboard, user.get email. Instead of that, we just need to simply say that, okay, find user by email. Perfect. Yeah, if not user, and user password. And let me tell you something that, I mean, it's MongoDB. Okay, and it is really good for when you want to save data that are, I mean, in a JSON structure and dictionary structure, and you can easily parse the data from that dictionary and JSON like that. Exactly. I'm gonna say user password is not equal to user password credential. Okay, we don't need to we cannot say user.pop password, but I'm gonna remove that. You know, there is this ID in MongoDB. Okay, this ID, you cannot print it using Python. I mean, directly. You should you should either remove that ID or create a serializer object. I'm gonna just remove that ID for now, and we don't need to replace it with yeah. Why not? And now I'm just wanna say user data. Let me just try to log in. Okay, codemetv@gmail.com 123, and oh, perfect, we got an error. What is that? User data is not defined. And you are right, we need to search for user. Exactly. Let me give it another try. codemetv@gmail.com. You should watch my previous episodes. Otherwise, I think we have a not found error problem. Object ID is not iterable, but I removed that, I think. Pop. Yep. My bad. Underscore ID, not ISO ID. Yeah, it is exactly that. I mean, this crazy ID here, you see, underscore. Don't waste too much time, man. Let me give it another try. Yeah, perfect. User logged in successfully. Plan free, credits 100. What's next? What's next? I mean, we're done also with the dashboard. Okay, and for example, let's see CodeMate-TV1. We don't have such a thing in our database, and it should say that invalid credentials, and we are taking 200 response, if you can see at the right side. That's why I'm going to say that we need HTTP status code, and I'm going to say that in the next videos. And perfect. For buy, we need what we need. We take email, we take plan name. Perfect. First of all, we should see that if we need that user. That's why I'm gonna say the existing user, await find user by email. But now I'm gonna say if not existing user, I mean, because we need that user. I mean, anonymous people cannot purchase anything. Okay, they should register first. User not find, and so we don't need this info right now, and we don't need this user plan because we take it from the user, and it's gonna be let me user credits. Okay, and also not user credits, plan. Why is that? Because I wanted to plan credits, plan expiry, user data. Okay, we don't need that. We don't need those information for now. But if you want to print something from the user, I told you how we can do that. And now I just need to say that, okay, update user by email and what it takes. We don't need that. Yeah, we can say the query to our database, find by email, then print the user info here. But I will do that later. Okay, we are just going and improve this server step by step. It takes email, plan name, plan credits, plan expiry, and it should be great. Email, plan name, credits, expiry, expiry, plan, expiry, credits. Yeah, wonderful. And that's it. That's it. Let me just buy something from my for my CodeMate TV. I mean, @gmail.com. I'm on dashboard, and currently it has a free plan with 100 credits. And yeah, so let's buy something basic or maybe pro, no matter. It just take CodeMate TV. Let me just use something that TBB. Okay, I should say that not found. Okay, perfect. And let's use my real thing, plan upgraded successfully. And now let me just try to log in again. Oh yeah, I'm on pro plan with 10,000 credits. Crazy. And what's next? I mean, the next thing, which is really important. Okay, yeah, I mean, we need database for our scrapers. First of all, we should find user by their email address. We don't need these stuff here. Thanks to MongoDB, I'm gonna just say that user is equal to wait, find user by API key exactly. If not user, invalid API key. Perfect. And also if user credits equal to lower than, I'm gonna say cost here. And for example, for this request, which is for Google search, I'm gonna say the cost is 1. We charge user by 1 for each call, and it is the cost. If lower than the cost, thanks to we can parse that database easily. Okay, we don't need to query when we grab the data. That's really powerful. Credits is lower than cost, sufficient credits, wonderful. Let me just, I don't want to scrape because I don't have my API key from scrape ASAP for now. Now then, user credits is user. We don't need that. Also, I'm gonna don't have response testing, for example, and user credits. So now we should charge the user. You remember? Wait, up. Decrease balance, which takes user key and cost. Perfect. Because when we are in this line, it means that everything works perfectly for that user, and we can now charge him. Let me just save it. Okay. Oh, we're getting errors, or yeah, perfect. And let me give it a try for the scraper endpoint. Scraper. Let me grab my API key. Let me log in. Yeah, I've done that before. My API key. If we use something wrong, for example, let me add 222. It gives us invalid API key. I hope. Yeah, invalid API key, and I'm using my real API key. It says testing, and now, I had 10,000. It should be, yeah, perfect, guys, and good job. And so now, what's next? Let me just grab my API key, and then we try this scenario once again for a real scraping part. We have done that before, and let me just we don't need these, and also I should put response.txt. Okay, I'm using that website for scraping because I don't have time to handle proxies, scraping APIs, and updating code and parsing and many things. Okay, scrape data, perfect. And now let me just grab my API key from scrape ASAP, and too fast, a little bit. That's gonna be my API key, and I have 86. Crazy. I should buy maybe next time. Crazy, it was for Google search, and I told you to make the age and limit dynamic. I don't do that, otherwise, I mean, you should do that. It's not my job. And crazy, crazy, crazy. Let me just save it and try to query. It's going to be scrapers. I mean, yeah, exactly what we have here. Okay, for this. And in the body, yeah, keyword, we are searching for maybe for I don't know. I'm crazy about Warzone. I just want to search for Warzone, maybe cheat. Google, because it was a Google search API. Warzone cheat, yeah, crazy. I don't play, but maybe one day. Yeah, crazy. We got data. We got the data that we want. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it works like a charm. Okay. And yeah, it's for Google search. Yeah, page 1 results, paid organic results, and also it should have text and also position 8 description URL. Okay, updated that. Oh, it gives us many information here for Google search scraping. And that's it, guys. I wanted to add a new scraper, but I'm gonna focus more on scraping in the next video. I think we are going to separate this scraper NPI into another folder, and then I'm gonna rename it as Google search, and then, for example, Google Map or Instagram profile scraper, because in you will find many crazy endpoints. I'm gonna use many of them. Instagram user profile is crazy. I'm interested in Instagram APIs. Let me try to scrape. It's my Instagram account. Let me use that for scraping profile. Wow, perfect. And yeah, perfect. I'm gonna add this later, not now. But yeah, I will push the code here. Let me just do that. Why not? We can do that. I mean, git add all. Okay, and git commit, and using maybe real MongoDB, and also, yeah, that's enough. We were just working with database and crazy. And let me push the code, pip git push, and I will put the link in description below, and you can just clone this repo, and we try to improve this server, scraping server, as much as we can. Okay, and if you have any idea and any suggestion, you can tell me in the link, in comments below. And yeah, it was for the purpose of this episode, and I hope I hope to see you in the next video, and I hope to, if you learned something from me from this video, don't forget to like, okay, because it really helps me to create more content. And goodbye for now.